Hey everyone, so the preview pages for issue 3 of the Dynamite Ben comic released last week, and so I figured now is as good a time as any to finally cover the preview pages here on the channel. On the first page we see Colonel Rosem talking with his men about the massacre that happened in the previous issue where Crab killed everybody. On the next page we see the battle continue where Crab is being shot by a lot of soldiers while he is holding a tractor and he throws it. Also, Grandpa Max is hiding in the shadows out of sight. Once again, we get a very classic feeling line from Crab where he says, "This planet's form of resistance is pathetic." This is the original Crab, he's back. On the next page we see Grandpa Max using some plumber tech. By activating a compass, it seems, he turns on the autopilot for the rest bucket, while Ben and Gwen are inside talking about the Omnitrix. We also have a few panels posted by Joe Casey to talk about. There is one of Ben transforming back into human form after becoming Cannonball in issue 2. A shot of Ben and Crab face to face about the battle, and a shot of Grandpa Max jumping out of the way of an explosion. Okay, I suppose it's finally time for us to talk about Zombozo. Let's read the solicitation for issue 4 together. Man of action Stephen T. Siegel steps in as things take a turn for the creepy. In a rainy northwest stop on their endless summer vacation, the Temison family is drawn to a circus where the crowds aren't cheering, the clowns aren't laughing, and the ringmaster has plans for a frightful future well beyond his broken big top. Can Ben master the Omnitrix in time to find the right alien to stop the bizarre Zombozo from making Grandpa Max his next death-defying act? A new, twisted two-part adventure begins here, including the debut appearances of Accelerate and Stinkfly. So yeah, Zombozo isn't really one of my favorite Ben 10 villains. I mean, it was exciting whenever he first reappeared in Ultimate Alien because he had been gone for so long. So it was just surprising to see him again. But then he started appearing all the time. And so his charm kind of wore off for me the more he appeared in new media. It is pretty clear that Zombozo is simply here to stay. He's not going anywhere. He was even in the Ben 10 Minecraft DLC. So I do accept that he will be in pretty much all new iterations of Ben 10 going forward. But, you know, I would just like a little bit of a break from Zombozo. Like, just a little? Now you might say, why don't I say this about Vilgax or Dr. Animo? Well, I just like them more. You know, Vilgax is always going to be the more interesting Ben 10 villain because of his history with Grandpa Max and his backstory with Azimuth in the reboot. Characters in Ben 10 tend not to get very complex, but I feel like Vilgax is one of the more complex characters out of who we usually get anyway. He's not as complicated as Charmcaster or even arguably Albedo, but I don't know, Vilgax just always works for me. And I'm always a sucker for mad scientist characters, so I always love seeing Dr. Animo. My favorite video game franchise is of course Sonic the Hedgehog, so I always love seeing Dr. Eggman, and I always love seeing Dr. Animo in Ben 10. And you know, I'll be real with you, the Joker's not my favorite Batman villain. I would much rather see more of Mr. Freeze in the next Batman movie instead of the Joker again. Heck, I know the Penguin is also super overdone in Batman media, but I always enjoy new Penguin stories more than Joker stories, to be honest. Anyway, that's enough side tangents. Let's just get back to covering issue 4 news. On Duncan Rouleau's cover, we get very different looks at Stinkfly, Frightwig, Thumbskull, and Acid Breath. They all look pretty different from how they did in the cartoon. Except I do wish they changed up Acid Breath a little bit more. He has more hair here than he usually has. Wasn't expecting that. I really like Erica Nate's cover with Stinkfly with Ben in the background. Really cool to see. I'll always be happy to see more of his Ben 10 art. That's pretty much all I have to say about the Ben 10 news this month. Saturday is the finale of 5 years later, so you can expect I'll be reviewing episode 14 as soon as it drops on the Ink Tank YouTube channel. And we'll be back whenever Dynamite reveals issue 5 of Ben 10. Please make sure to check out my review of issue 2 of the Dynamite comic. Alright, bye everyone.